This is Shadowveil, Legend of the Five Rings. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I mostly cover gacha games. And in those gacha games, there's like roguelike systems where you go through a mode and you get a bunch of buffs, and then you try to complete the content in a certain amount of time. Well, Shadowveil is actually not a gacha game. This is just a regular game where the content is in there and you don't have to swipe outside of it to get more of the content.
Wow.
But it is a roguelike as well, and this, in my opinion, is peak roguelike gaming. In a way, it's sort of unique because it's a deck builder style roguelike that's based off of the tabletop franchise Legend of Five Rings. Now, I'm currently playing the demo version of the game, but it released on March 4th, and it's a game about training samurai, leveling up your characters, and choosing specializations, optimizing and maxing out your characters so that you can play with any playstyle you want, exiting through a gate and exploring the Shadowlands. Now, in the Shadowlands, you're going to be going through tons of different battles where you're going to be able to unlock abilities temporarily for that run and items, as well as some other bonus perks that you can find along the way. And your goal is to build until you can complete that run or lap of the Shadowlands. If you guys have ever played the game Hades, it's actually quite similar to that in terms of how the loop actually goes. But the gameplay is a little bit different. So the first thing that you would need to do is go over to the magistrate, and here you have a couple different missions that you can choose from. You can actually go through and pick side quests to do, which can help give you some extra rewards that can help power you up, or you can focus on the main story quest. I'm picking up this one, an old relic, and we're gonna go ahead and go through the gate and try our luck. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into it. We're gonna exit out the gate, we're gonna embark on a mission, and I'm gonna go ahead and add one more unit to my troop here. So the first thing you'll notice is the map. Essentially, this map has some cloudy parts that you have to scout out later, but it does give you this beginning zone where you know what all of the options for pathing actually are. You can hover over them if you want to see what they do and what enemies are there. For example, this one will actually give us a bonus ability slot. But first off, let's go ahead and get our ability deck by hitting that first tile. It's going to put us into combat immediately, and then after that, we'll get a reward. So as mentioned before, the gameplay is actually quite different from some of the other roguelikes you may have played because it is a grid-based tactical combat system. Now, there's certain grid spaces that give you buffs, and you do want to take advantage of these. You also have a limit to how many characters you can deploy, and that can increase based on the buffs that you have or the perks that you acquire during your trip. So this is my tank. I'm gonna go ahead and set him up with my bruiser right here, and we have the bruiser trait enabled as well, so it's gonna give us both some extra HP. This is the first run. It's gonna be super easy. I feel like it's almost impossible to lose this first one. It might even be impossible, truthfully. Here we go. Victory. We gain some XP as well, and this will be relevant later. And once that's done, you can choose an ability card deck. Now, this is going to be for your sort of damage dealers. This is for your tacticians. And I believe this is just a general book. I'm gonna go and choose this one because I use these types of characters the most. And you can see the 4 abilities that we got out of that book. Now, not all of them are Bruiser actually, Berserker. Not all of them are Berserker. This one is classless, so I can actually use it on anyone. So we're gonna go ahead and claim all of these. And then it shows you all the rewards for the run you just did or the combat you just did, and you get ready to move on to the next one. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and activate some abilities. So I have this Berserker ability, start a combat, gain 15 defense and 20 movement speed. This one I want to give to my tank because it has defense on it, so I'm going to give it to Hideyuki. And then I'm gonna go ahead and give this Berserker one to Hiratoharu. These are my 2 main guys that I'm using right now. We can give these abilities to other characters later, but we don't need to right this second because I can only deploy 2 to begin with. Right, so let's actually get that extra ability slot. So we're gonna go down here, and as you can see, the enemy is right up here. He's really weak. This is a defense bonus, so I'm gonna drop them on this tile. This is bonus crit minus movement speed. We don't care about the movement speed, so we'll go ahead and just take that bonus crit. And now we're gonna begin combat. This is like the really early easy stages, but I'm probably gonna get wiped out because this game does get quite a bit harder on later runs. So I can give an extra ability slot. I'm gonna give the extra ability to Hiratoharu because this is the person that's going to be doing most of my damage. So if I can get anything that increases his damage or anything like that, that would be super sick. Or like a weakness that I can apply. Got smelting stock as well. This will give us another ability card. So we'll go down that direction. But first, let's equip another ability. And we can deal 40 damage and apply wounded to the one enemy furthest away. That one's fun, but actually let's use the weakened one. So we'll go down for this ability card, and we have a defensive stance one here, and a cooldown reduction one, and a crit one. Let's take this crit one, put him down there, start battle. I have us on double speed as well, so this goes extra fast. And they're taking their sweet time walking around because the tiles were taken out, but it's so early. It just doesn't really matter. These runs do get easier as you power up, but they get harder because the game gets more difficult the further in you get. So it's something worth keeping in mind, but we can pick one ability this time. So I could choose this one and get a bunch more defense and more movement speed and combine it with the other one that I have to actually make those stats even higher and then apply it to one unit. But because this one is rarer or higher tier, I'm gonna go and take We Are the Wall and give it to our tactician. And that will make it so that when he's deployed, I give some shield to everyone. And that's pretty nice, to be honest. For each unit deployed, apply 50 shield to all allies. If you deploy 3 units, that's 150 shield. That's good stuff. On top of that, though, we leveled up our fortitude. So we're gonna go ahead and pick one boon. The boons are basically something to use on the run. Command point means I can deploy 1 extra unit. The jade means that I can go to camp once more or use another camp buff. And the ability just means I get another ability. Very cool. But I'm gonna go and choose the command point because I want to be able to use more units. So I'll do this, I'll heal this unit because that was a bonus effect. And now I can deploy 3 at a time, and you will see this in just a moment after I give this guy We Are the Wall. Let's go ahead and move on to this jade tile. I'm gonna go ahead and put my tank right over here, and then I'll put our tactician right here in between both of them. This should give us a bunch of shield, and we should be really safe for this run. Now we are split, but I don't think it's gonna matter too much. I do have a taunt skill on my tank that I keep mentioning that's sort of in the middle, and that taunt skill makes it so that all of the enemies will attack them. So what I try to do is I try to build them to be very tanky, have a lot of HP. So that way, all the other enemies that are attacking them, I don't have to worry about my allies getting hit. I only have to worry about that one character, and everyone else is just going to take down the enemies. Always good to have tanks in these kinds of games. We'll go to this one for another ability slot as well. All right, so this is for defense. This is for defense. Lock in, battle go. So the wraiths, the corrupted spirits, are a little bit tougher to deal with. They do a lot more damage. They have a lot more HP or a lot more resistances. I'm not exactly sure how the stats work to a T in this game, but they are a lot harder to deal with. As you can see, I'm actually taking some damage now. And this is how it goes. The further in you get, the more dangerous it gets. And you have to make sure that you're really building optimally if you don't want to get knocked out. But now I can choose a unit to get an extra ability. Let's go ahead and give it to... the tactician here, and I'll give him Soaring Slice as well. These are now unknown locations. These are not mapped out. Now there is a way to map them out via different means. There's actually a few ways to map things out, but what I'm gonna do now is make camp. This costs 1 jade tile, these green guys, to actually make a camp, and you get camp rations by default, but you can choose to distribute extra rations, or you can take any one of these buffs for free. Now I'm gonna gain an item because I don't have any items yet, and I don't actually need the extra rations because this should heal everyone. So I'm gonna go ahead and rest up. Everyone is fully healed, and now I have an item. You got elemental power. So anyways, you could take something like this. It could have like cooldown reduction on it. It could have attack speed. There's a ton of different stats that you could get, and you can just go ahead and equip it to one of your characters that has an item slot open. As you can see, Hida Junsuke does not have an item slot open because I've not leveled him up and chosen that yet, which I'll show you later. So next up is Elite Combat. We go here. This is plus crit minus movement speed. We'll do that. This is plus elemental power, and we're gonna lock in here. There's a lot of enemies this time. It'd be really great if they weren't split up, but my positioning was kind of bad there. And so now they're going to obviously stay split up, but it doesn't matter because we just outscale them with all of our buffs and abilities. So it's just not really an issue, but it could have been an issue if I was against something like wraiths, right? Because then one enemy is fighting one wraith. Or the corrupted spirits is what they're called. I just keep referring to them as wraiths. But this is more or less the sort of style of game that this is, and I actually am a really big fan of it. I've been enjoying it a lot just in my time that I've been able to play. I just wish I was better at these games. I'm realizing very quickly that I'm not good at these tile, like grid-based tactical games. And roguelites I'm okay at roguelikes. I know how to min-max, I know how to stack buffs and things like that, but combining these two is not my strong suit. So now I get to choose a unit for an ability slot, and I'll just choose this guy here again, my DPS, my guy doing lots of damage, and we got fortitude level up, which means we get another boon. I can choose another command point to get another character, or I can choose an item. I'm gonna choose a command point just because I feel like having 4 units out is too strong. And so we're going to take advantage of that. I can also give evasion to someone. I think it would be really funny if my tanks had evasion. That would be really, really funny. But I also think the tacticians are going to be better for it. So we probably go on the tactician, but Imagine a tank that just doesn't take damage because they just keep dodging. Is that even really a tank? They're not tanking the damage. All right, so I have no abilities. I've really got to get some more abilities. But in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and restore our HP at the camp. We'll go ahead and grab another item because it's free. All right, so this one, it looks like a trader. So here now I have an opportunity to trade wares, which will basically help me be able to get more abilities, more buffs, and things like that. So this is Crab Shell, lasts 4 seconds, taunt enemies within 2 tiles, deal 15 damage to enemies within 1 tile. This could be pretty strong, but I already do have a taunt. I think what I want to do is grab Field Medicine and Berserker's Rage. Berserker's Rage will let me combine it to buff it, and then Field Medicine will just be good to have on a character, so that way I can take full advantage of that healing over time. There are items as well. As you can see, a unit gains Bruiser trait and Elusive trait. Getting these traits is really, really strong, and you can actually equip these to your characters. Blue ones being the stronger ones, of course. We can also gift a card as well, but I need both of those. Sorry, man. I gotta be a little greedy with it. I'm gonna go ahead and leave. Thank you, store manager. I appreciate it. So I can now upgrade Berserker's Rage. We're gonna take both these, put them together, and make a new one that's going to be even stronger, has a lower cooldown. Boom! So now we have a blue rarity Berserker's Rage equipped. And then on top of that, I have the ally healing, which is gonna be so nice. I want one more ability, so I'm gonna go ahead over to this tab, or this tablet. Holy, that's a lot of enemies. Luckily, we have all 4 units now, but this guy is super weak, so I do have to be careful. My tank's got the 40 defense. I want this guy to get the attack, and let's go ahead and get started. No idea how this is gonna play out. I feel like it might actually not go super well because we met him at a chokehold like this, so maybe it would have been better to actually stand back a fair bit, but we are getting heals for free. So that's something worth thinking about, but my main damage dealer is so far behind everything that he can't actually play the game. It doesn't matter, we're just rolling it, but oh my gosh. Perfect, so now we just need to do one more heal, but we do get one more ability. I think I want Field Medicine as well. This one I can actually upgrade, I believe, with 2 of them. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go ahead and grab Field Medicine. We have 2 blue tier ones. Now we can make the purple Field Medicine, which is even stronger. Oh man. Now, technically, you could also just potentially run 2 different Field Medicines at the same time. That actually would have made a little bit more sense, but I already mentioned I'm very good at these kinds of games. So we're gonna move past that. I think we're still gonna roll the mountain pass here, so it should be fine. All right, let's go ahead and head over to the mountain pass. And here we're at a boss level, and there's actually there's quite a bit of story that happens in this game too. I've just been kind of skipping through it because I just would rather get into the action, but there's no buffs here. There are 0 buffs here. I actually want to move back, I think, a fair bit, so that way the enemy has to come to me because I don't want to meet them in the middle section. So I would rather just put my entire starting lineup back here, and hopefully he'll move past, but it looks like no, we're just gonna move past anyway, so it's fine. He's very, very slow. We have the constant healing, we have the wound, the weakening. There's just no way to lose this really here. We have them taunted on my tanky guy, and yeah, no, it's over. Now, sometimes there's a second layer to these. It'll just be a wave of ads and then a boss. In this case, it was just the boss, and we move on to Act 2. All right, and we get a new ability card deck once we get in here to Act 2 as well. But this is where it's gonna start getting like really tough by comparison. So hopefully we'll just make it through. Hopefully we're jacked up enough that it's not going to be an issue, but we'll find out real quick, I'm sure. We're already taking so much damage by comparison. It is actually crazy how much damage we're taking. We ended up being just fine, but you can tell it's already ramping up. We need some tactician cards. So let's take a tactician deck this time. And oh, wow, we got a purple rarity. Apply elemental overload to an ally. If the critical hit was a heal, the target also gains elemental. Yeah, wow. All right, so first off, we can actually improve our weakness here, or our weakening. So we're gonna actually get this weaken times 5. Man, that is so disgusting. 5 seconds to apply weakness. I want to put this battle foundation on because it gives us just a whole bunch of extra stats. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of Soaring Slice here and put on Colony Ancestors, and we'll go ahead and give that a try. Zoom out. So we need to be going kind of north here. So we can grab this extra ability slot and then go up. So let's do that. So my tank is actually a fair bit weak. I'm gonna hope that we can heal him beforehand. It might be okay though. We'll go ahead and move this guy forward, and we'll just see how it goes. Fingers crossed we can heal him up a little bit. Looks like we are getting healing opportunities. It is coming a little slow, but we might survive long enough to where it's just okay. Yeah, no. All right, we're doing just fine. We'll make sure to camp out before the next one. Now, unfortunately, the camp, this is our last jade tile. So this is the last camp that we can do for a minute. I'm gonna go and take the extra defense for the next few encounters, and I'm going to hope that that means we're chilling, we're good. We do get a Jade Top from this, actually, so we will have one more camp before then, but we're really gonna need this defense. We are fortunately healed once again, though, so we're gonna take this buff over here, just because we can have it. Cooldown reduction and attack speed. So cooldown reduction, I probably want to give to this guy, right? And then we can throw everyone else sort of back here, and hopefully this will be more than enough. But oh my gosh, he's getting jumped. He does have evasion, luckily. But he's getting jumped up there, so we need to finish up the guys at the bottom quick. And yeah, no, okay, we're chilling. Not worried at all. Wasn't worried for a second. Yeah, +1 Jade. I think we actually survived this without going to camp, so we're gonna go and do that. Oh, that's gonna be tough. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I actually want to attack these two on their own, on their lonesome, because I want to make sure we can just take them out as fast as possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and put him here, and then ooh, I don't want to separate them too much, so hopefully this will just take out the bottom two. We won't have to worry about it. Oh, dude, these are chunky, but we do have a huge heal. Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe this game is easy, guys. I don't know. Maybe it's easy, but I think I am actually just the GOAT. Like, I ended up with more HP after I left that than before. I might just be the GOAT. I don't know what else to say. Elite combat. So this one's going to be very difficult, but I shouldn't, because I need to hit that purple exclamation point. That is my objective, so we're going there. All right, that is my defense goer. That's my defense guy. All right, and here we go. Defense guy's going all the way up to the top. He's sneaking around. Luckily, we're just doing so much damage now that it simply does not matter. It's actually really crazy how strong we've built these characters up. +1, we get a boon. Once again, ability card deck. Ooh, and we get to choose a unit for attack speed. Well, you already know who I'm gonna give it to, but we'll go ahead and pick the, let's go ahead and pick the Marauders again. Or not the Marauders, the Berserkers once again. Wow, this seems insane. So now we can finally equip these again. I'm also going to give attack speed to my my Berserker here. So we have an upgrade to heavy blow, which just means I'm going to be doing more damage. Deal 20 damage instead of the 10 is crazy. Plus attack speed. Oh my gosh, this is just going to be so destructive. All right, 130% defense to the enemy. You guys got 19 defense, and we've got besiege. 85 damage to the target. Yeah, that is so crazy. And obviously we just keep going. So this looks like an elemental overload tile. That seems really good, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get there. And here we go. This should just absolutely demolish them. This should just make them this is gonna like absolutely just destroy them. We're taking quite a bit of damage over there. Oh my gosh. But yeah, no. They're all so dead. All right, and we keep going. So this is going to be elite combat. It's meant to be a little bit tougher. But we'll see how it goes. I think I'm taking more damage because maybe the defense buffs have worn off, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and move this guy here. Right in front of the enemy. It shouldn't be too tough. I think oh, they demolished me. Oh, they demolished me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fuck. So at this point, we have the option to abandon or retry. We can retry, but we lose some stuff, which would not be ideal. But you know what? We have one Jade tile. We'll give it a shot. We'll see if we can beat it. Basically, we just need to get ourselves a good buff. But unfortunately, one, we didn't get that, but also we just need a full heal, right? So we need to take both of those. And it looks like the buffs are different this time around as well. Cooldown reduction, attack speed. I'll put them there, put them here, and you here. All right, let's lock in. We're not even gonna get close to death. We're actually gonna demolish them. It's gonna be insane. We're gonna absolutely demolish. Ah! So once you finish your run, you actually get to retrieve a bunch of the things that you earned along the way. And then you also get a lot of XP. And if we go over to the barracks, we actually have level ups available on 3 different characters already. Now, this is one of the coolest parts of the entire game to me, is when you go in here and you try to level up characters, there's a whole bunch of things you can do. You can unlock multiple item slots for them. You can add stats. You can select a new mastery. So here, I'm going to go ahead and select a new mastery. Go ahead and take Healthy Step. And you actually can have then both of the masteries attached, which is super cool. And in this character's case, he is my tank. So anything I can do to make him more chonky would be fantastic. Like one healed gain 20 defense for 5 seconds. That seems like it would be pretty dang helpful. And on enter tile, heal for 4% of max HP. that also seems really helpful on him just to keep him alive, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and do the healthy step, and then maybe next time I'll also do suppressing the pain. So when he's healed, he just immediately gets that defense bonus, and he just always has it up. This guy, we're gonna go ahead and make him do as much damage as possible. We can also choose to up his stats or give him another item, but I am gonna focus on the masteries. Burning and Wounded seems really strong. Molten Shell seems like a way to make them a glass cannon, which could be really nice if I was playing with 2 tanky characters, but it doesn't always work. I'm gonna go ahead and take the 5 base attacks, apply Burning and Wounded. I think that could be really strong, so we'll take that as well. Now, I don't mean to strike fear into any of your hearts or anything, okay? But there is a recruitment tab. However, this isn't a gacha game. You get skulls from completing missions and just playing the game, and these skulls you use to just pick a character that you want to take and add to your roster. Now, the more characters you have, the better, because you can specialize them all in very specific things, and that can make it way more versatile when you need to have specific units out. Let's say there's like a ton of enemies and they're all like a little weaker, but there's just a lot of them, right? But then you might want to play multiple tanks. Or if there's one really big boss and you have like 1 tank, 1 healer, and a bruiser that just, not even a bruiser, like an assassin type character that just does so much burst damage but can't take a hit. Right, that sort of thing. And you want to take all these characters that you can to build them up and make them even stronger. So this is absolutely free. You don't have to pay for it, which is so nice. And then also, once you get these little scrolls, you can actually get traits as well that will help increase basically your account's overall strength, which is just so nice. In fact, here I can actually spend 60 of the paint, the smelting stock. I call it paint because it looks like a paint bucket to me. I don't know why. And just get this item available to me. But of course, that's not the only way to progress. There are multiple side quests you can do. There's many challenges that will give you things like political capital. Wow, very nice. I have 11 of that now. You also have an emissary over here, and this emissary has a sort of skill tree that once you reach higher chapters allows you to actually gain buffs down different skill trees. And at the emissary specifically, you can actually unlock new classes. So I can go here if I want to, and I could unlock scouts. And scouts are just gonna be a completely new class with different stat specifications and different goals. So if you want to play different ways, if you want to play like witch hunters, you know, you can go unlock the witch hunter class right here. And then when you level up another character, or if you recruit a character from the witch hunters or from the scouts, you now have completely different characters to play. So should we recruit? I want to say we could recruit one of both. Let's go and recruit a scout and a witch hunter. So I also just learned that if you unlock the character, it just gives you one. So I didn't know that, but now I have a ton of characters. So I love when games do this sort of thing, where once you reach a certain point, you can start like actually going down a skill tree of sorts and just constantly building and building and scaling up your characters and making them stronger. So, I mean, that's the core gameplay loop of the game, right? That's what roguelikes are all about. And this is a true roguelike experience. It's just more tactical grid-based combat instead of maybe a different style of combat. So this one is one that you have to understand how the AI move, and you have to understand sort of what the stats do, what enemies are more threatening, where to position your characters. And it's a whole different kind of game, much more tactical approach. But anyways, I'm honestly a really big fan of this game so far. It's been a lot of fun to play. I think it's only like 25 bucks on Steam, and I'm sure I have like a download link down below. So if you guys want to check it out, you can. There's also a free demo, which is what I'm playing. So if you really like roguelikes, and if you like these sort of like tile-based, like tactical unit placement games, you should give this one a try. It's unironically really good. I had a lot of fun making this video, and I hope for you guys it was entertaining to watch something a little different. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like down below, leave a comment, let me know if you're trying the game out, and I'll catch you guys next time.